Hello there. So now here is how you can build on any relationship. And building on any relationship requires that you change your character. So before we proceed, I want you to subscribe so that you can be up to date on our next video releases. So in this video, we are going to talk about building a relationship with God. More so because God is the center of almost everything that we do. And then again, building a relationship with God is just another way of saying that we are changing or forming our own character. So the reality is that you can't have a fruitful relationship with God if you never had a character goal or a goal to form a new character. Now that is like tasting salt instead of sugar in a cup of tea. I mean, you know what salt does and you know what sugar does. So you couldn't add salt if you wanted to sweeten your tea. You need to add sugar. And that means that salt is not characteristic of a sweet tea. So in the same way, you couldn't behave any properly if your mind is filled with negative thoughts and evil shapes your actions. So even if you try to be positive, your character will never lose that bitterness of salt in your actions. And that is why you are going to have those bad feelings in your conscience. So you see, this is why you need to have a character goal. The person in your mind that you want to be. So this will guide you with the right actions in order to sweeten your cup of tea. And that means if you wanted to be a sheep, you couldn't be found tearing up flesh. So your character is something you really want to change and into what? And whatever you want is where your future self belongs. So now you see, no one could have proven that Jesus Christ is the Messiah if he never preached or healed the sick or raised from the dead. Equally so, you couldn't claim any relationship with God if your results in life never changed. So if your results don't change, it's just because you are behaving like that salt trying to sweeten the same cup of tea. And that's not going to be possible. So Jesus said, you cannot put new wine into old bottle. And that's to say, you cannot keep holding on to your old mindset and old mentality and attitude and character and still expect new things or expect new results. You have to change your mindset, you have to change your attitude, and you have to change your character. And in order to do that, you have to follow these 5 steps. So here's our first point. Become aware. See, awareness comes in knowing where you are, seeing the need for your change, and determining the character suitable for your change. So you see, it's not a coincidence that you see everything that you want in other people. Of course, they all do speak to one point that you are in this position that you are in because of your character, and therefore you need to change. And if you need to change, you need to identify what you need to change within you and what exactly you need to replace them with. And that is where your goal comes in. So you need to have a goal. Now, having a goal means you know what you want to be like. And of course, when you know what you want to be like, getting there is just about picking the right attitude of mind to form your own character. So in simple terms, pick a person in society that you admire, someone you like, someone you want to be like, and recognize that they have some attitudes in them that is driving their success. Now that's your goal. Those attitudes that is driving their success, those are your goals. Now you want those attitudes in order to form your own character. And of course, it doesn't end there. It proceeds with you changing your mindset. You have to recognize that your mindset is responsible for all your behaviors. Now, this is called the paradigm. And here's how Bob Proctor defines a paradigm. That it is a mental program that has an exclusive control over your habitual behavior. And of course, all of human behaviors are habitual because we have learned one thing from society and that has been passed down from one generation to the other. And we still continue in them to do as we have seen others do. So Paul said, when I was a child, I behaved like a child. Now I am an adult and I do behave like an adult. And of course, in order to shift from being a child to an adult, he also wrote, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that is how you change your paradigm. That's how you change your attitude. That's how you change your mindset from one generation to the other. That means you get renewal of your mind. So if you will be successful in getting what you want, you need to change your mindset to reflect your future in possession of that which you desire. And that means you need to take action now. Taking action is practice, practice, practice. you have to practice your new goal and work towards your new character. And keep doing it until it feels like you. Of course, think and act like you want to do when you are in possession of that new self. And you see, if you love that new self so well enough, it won't be long that you begin to recognize yourself behaving as that new self. And then the last point that we need to discuss is bend the bridges. There's a reason why you were where you were, and these reasons are why you could never have afforded to move on. Of course, these reasons are your demons. They were the reasons keeping you in that old self, in those old character, keeping you behaving as you used to do. And of course, in order to go on and move on, you have to let them go. Give up these demons. Let them go. Cast them out. You have to let them get out of your life because you cannot carry them into this future that you desire. So bend them. Bend your old self. Just forget about everything of your old self and everything that made your old self be as it were. And just as Paul writes again, that when you get saved, you die to your old self and you resurrect to your new self. So you have to die to that old self and you have to rise up again in that new future self that you want for yourself. Of course, this is a future self and this is a new self of you that is prepared for great accomplishments. And that is what you have to work towards. So just remember that God created you to be a creature of good health, good wealth, and happiness. So don't accept less for yourself tomorrow. Alright, if you have been helped by this video, subscribe and don't forget to leave a comment. Like this video and share with your friends. We are glad to help. Thank you for watching.